Hello, I'm Nick Hennigan. Welcome to Theatre Training. Just a brief video to sort of explain what we're about, because this is a fairly unique initiative that we've started. I've been producing events for 30 odd years now. I started working on radio, both commercial radio and for the BBC, and then I got involved with promoting road shows. And then commercial events for the likes of Saatchi & Saatchi and Renault UK. And then I wrote a play in 1992 called Henry V Lion of England, which I put on in Birmingham, not really knowing what to do. And then very fortunately, it was picked up by a commercial company and taken to the Edinburgh Festival. Whilst at the Edinburgh Festival, I was blown away, never having been there before, blown away by the democracy and the energy of it all. So I came back to Birmingham and decided I wanted to create a similar ethos in the city of Birmingham to the Edinburgh Festival. So for 10 years we produced pub theatre, or at least theatre above a pub room, which attracted new audiences. In the meantime, Henry V went touring internationally, and then I did a couple of national and international tours. And then I decided to do a master's in creative producing. Creative producing, by the way, is a new term. We'll tell you what that really means if you get involved here. And I did this master's at the University of London at Birkbeck College. And it was the course director who said to me, because I was at university and a bit broke, he said to me, why don't you run a workshop, said he. Because I've got this sort of very eclectic experience of commercial theatre, national touring, international touring, starting a new company, starting indeed a new concept. So we hired a Theatre Royal Drury Lane, not all of it, but a room at the back, which was very spectacular for a theatre anorak like me. And we advertised the fact that we were going to have this day called an introduction to creative producing, and about 30 people turned up. There were people from television who wanted an overview of British theatre, which is what the course supplies. We had arts funding officers, actors who were thinking of producing their own work, other producers who've worked on the small scale and wanted to know about scaling up. It was a real mix of people. Investors as well, commercial investors who wanted to know what it was all about. And of course it was hugely oversubscribed. 30 was terrible, too many. So ever since then, this was about 2008, I did another one, and then every time I've done one, it's kind of either sold out or been very popular, and people have got in touch and said, when's the next one? So I think we're on about number 15 now, 15 or 16, possibly even more than that. But one of the drawbacks of it, and Maverick Theatre, the company that I set up in 1994, has always been about access. I should perhaps point out my background is sort of a council estate kid. When I was very fortunate to work on radio with a lot of lovely Oxbridge types, I kind of realised that the reason no one I knew or my family never went to the theatre, or indeed went to university, is that no one ever asked us. And indeed, Maverick's work in Birmingham was all about that, creating a new proposition, and we managed to create a new audience. We brought a completely different audience to see theatre. I won't bore you too much with that right now. And so theatre training online is what I'm talking to you about now. Hopefully what you're interested in doing. Oh, sorry, that's my email. I should switch that off. And theatre training online is going to concentrate initially on theatre producing. So this is for you if you've ever thought of putting on an event. It really doesn't matter how big or small, because the principles of putting on a night at the local village hall, or a scout show, or a guide show, are almost the same. The principles are the same as if you're planning, an international tour or a West End run. And so I've created this subscription model. It'll probably be, I'm not quite sure how we're going to work it out yet, because we're not a not-for-profit anyway. This isn't really a commercial proposition. It's a way of just spreading information. 30 years ago, there was no information about theatre directing. When I started Maverick, there was absolutely no information about theatre producing. And I will tell you the story of what happened to me when I got in touch with the Society of London Theatre and other people back in 1997, I think it was. There weren't even any books. There was no training at all. So our first sort of scheme is to help theatre producers, people who want to put on events. There will be a series of 12 videos and it'll be a subscription model, as I say, probably about £10 a month. And there will also then be, perhaps most crucially, apart from the 12 videos, the first video will be an overview of British theatre and touch on things like budgeting, rights. How do you get a play? How do you get a play to write? Where do you find actors? What do you do with actors? Pay rates, touring, finding venues, doing budgets, marketing, which is very important. So that the overall sort of package of what's needed. That's going to be our first video. And then we're going to delve into those areas to drill down. But perhaps most importantly, we're all going to come together once a month for a live webinar. And again, Maverick being about access, it means you don't have to come to London or to Birmingham. You can be anywhere in the world and join in. And if you are an established producer, you'll know that producing can be a very lonely business. So the monthly get-togethers, where it can be actors, directors, anyone really, we can just come together, we can have a chat, we can have a bit of a moan, a bit of a bitch, we can suggest things, talk about funding, talk about new initiatives, and I'm hoping it'll work very well. There's a sort of sister site to this called creativeproducers.club, which I set up because there was so much sort of demand really for my creative producers workshop, my one-day course. We're still going to have the physical courses, but they'll be perhaps once a year in London rather than sort of every other month or so. And I'm hoping that you'll get the same benefit from this training, if you like, or if nothing else, experience. You know, I've made a lot of mistakes, and hopefully you won't have to. I'm hoping you'll get as much from that from your own home, from your own bedroom. You won't need to leave the house even, as you will from the physical days where we all had to get together in London, in Soho. I'm hoping you'll get sort of more out of that, but I'm also hoping you'll get the experiential side of it as well by talking to other producers, other actors, other people who have got worries, and we'll do that through our live monthly webinars, even if it's only half an hour a month. That's kind of quite important, to me anyway. So I shall waffle on no more. The contact details will appear somewhere on my screen, I think. So please let me know what you think. And do get involved, or excuse me, if there's reasons why you don't want to get involved, then let me know that as well. As I say, we're not doing this as a commercial operation. Join up our website as well, to our mailing list. We don't do anything with your information. We won't pass it on to anyone. And in fact, we don't really do that many emails. We ought to do more, actually. That's in the marketing. You'll understand that in the marketing section. We've got various experts that I'm going to record as well. There's videos that we're going to play within the videos we're going to make. So I think this is a good idea. If not, please let me know. And if it is a good idea and you think it's a good idea, then please sign up and you'll soon be putting on your own events. God bless you.